investment thesis, and we'll also be talking about those people who were interested in the reverse engineering of the smartphone. We're going to have the instructor, the priest engineer from Patal Set is going
Yes.
to come on as well. And what I'm going to do right now is I want to let's get into HERU trades.
Yeah, peace. You could remove the other one.
Okay, hold on. Let
Yes.
me see which one to remove.
Yeah.
All right, I should remove the latest one,
The one is
or
not no the latest one, yes.
okay. All
There we
right,
go.
we're good to go.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
my man says Hotep to you as well.
Hotel.
And LaPortia Cooper, big up LaPortia, peace. And we're gonna give people some time to start
Yeah,
coming
pulling up.
on. I'm going to. There's an echo. I'm not sure why. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's still saying four people in the chat,
Yeah,
studio
four
chat.
people in the studio. Yeah, what I'm gonna try to do is see, but I have that one in mute. Okay. Hello. Yeah, that's
Peace.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Let me see if I can remove this one. Let's see. Yeah, people, we come in. Everybody, just give us a second. We're just going to. Let's see if I can remove this.
All right. While you do that, so we won't have any
Hmm.
dead time on the radio.
Yeah,
We'll break away and talk on the radio.
yeah. So, brother Red Pill and brother Anthony.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so let's talk about how these investments going for y'all. What y'all looking at? What's exciting you all?
Yeah, I looked at my crypto wallet the other day, my MetaMask.
Hmm.
It was a little perturbed.
Yes. Well, crypto's doing a retracement. And it happens, man. Like I'll tell you,
Ebbs and flows.
I mean,
Yes, yes.
Bitcoin, it's volatile, but that's why you get that volatile growth upwards as well, right?
Right.
Yes.
So with Bitcoin, man, remember, I remember like early into Bitcoin had gone from, there's times when Bitcoin went from 1,000 to 100, right? And then I remember a time, so that's a 90% decrease. And then, I still held. And
Yes.
then Bitcoin went from 20,000 to like 3,000 one time. And I still held. And so it's gone from 120 to, uh, I'm not sure what Bitcoin is now. Let me pull it up. Bitcoin is at, hold on, I'll tell y'all. And I'm going to share some of these screens with y'all. Uh, so Bitcoin, as we speak, is at 64,000. So it went from 125 to 64. So it's gone down about 50%. And, those of us who've been in Bitcoin OGs, we've seen this before,
Oh,
we've
for
seen
sure.
monsters before. Yeah. So, um, yeah, the crypto wallet, you just want to just accumulate. If you still believe in the thesis, you just accumulate and you just hold. We've seen these roller coasters before. Um,
So,
what?
brother Heru, you still where are you on this Bitcoin thing? Has your thesis changed any on this?
No, I think that the technology is still the technology. It's extremely useful. I think that um, it's a great store of value. I think it's better than gold just because of the transportation issues with gold and the security issues with gold. Again, try moving $1 million worth of gold bars internationally and let me know how that works out for you. It's going to be very difficult. There's a lot of regulations. You know, it's gold is cumbersome as far as I'm concerned as an asset, which is a store of wealth. I mean, it's been used for centuries, but I think that as far as we know about technology, technology always moves towards digitization, right?
Yes.
And so the same thing for silver. Try moving $1 million worth of silver. You know, try paying someone to build your house in another country with $100,000 worth of gold coins or
Mm-hmm.
gold bars.
Right.
So it can be used. Usually, it's something that's used for a means of exchange in terms of you have the gold and then you just whatever the spot price would be, you would try to sell it to a gold dealer for cash, and that's usually at a discount too. So even the price of your gold bar to sell it, you're going to sell it at a discount, usually like a 10% discount. So you don't even get the spot price. So it's not what people think it is. So I do like Bitcoin as a store of value. I do like Ethereum's technology. Um, there's a lot of things that happen with Ethereum that makes a lot of transactions possible, smart contracts and what have you. So I still like it. I think that the theory is great, and I do expect that Bitcoin at some point in the next 10 years will be at $1 million. That's my expectation. Just like I expected when Bitcoin was 100, I expected it to be $100,000 at one point, and a lot of people laughed. Like I remember it. I remember people laughing at me and saying that I was, promoting a Ponzi scheme. And those people, a lot of people use these words, but it was clear they didn't even understand what a Ponzi scheme was to say something like that. But um, it bore out to be true. You had people who were laughing at Bitcoin when it was $1. Then it went to $100. Then it went to 1,000. Then it went to 20,000. And a lot of people got interested. I remember when it went to 20,000. I think that was around like 2014. It went to like $20,000. And I remember a lot of people. It was that December. A lot of people were trying to like buy Bitcoin for Christmas. I remember that when it was 20. So it went from 20, then it went down to like 3, and then it went back up to like 60, and then it went down. It went to 59,000, and then it went down again to 20. Then from 20, it went to 100K. Right. So these are the motions I've seen with Bitcoin. I remember all this vividly because I've been, dollar cost averaging all the time. And whenever it would quote unquote crash, I would just buy Bitcoin. Big up to my good brother Genesis. Me and Genesis were up last night till 2 a.m. working on some technology. And
Shout out to Genesis.
yeah, and the brother's up early just like me with just a few hours of sleep. This is just what it is. So big up to Genesis, man. Um, brother helped me tremendously. I was doing some things with the charts, and the brother is a computer wizard, so he was showing me uh, how to set things up properly and to deal with some of the bugs that I was having with my forex charts. So we figured everything out. Could not have done it without him. And the charts are ready for you all to look at. I do have some trades that I do need to post on HERU Trades, but I'll share it with you all. So why don't we start with forex, and then we'll get into some of these African stocks, and we can cover for your audience what we talked about last week, Brother Red Pill. And also, we can go over some of these AI stocks and these AI options. Let's do that, right? Um, brother says, King Lumual Production says he loves waking up at 4. Yeah, those types of hours are great because everyone's asleep. The world is asleep, and you can get one up on everyone in the world. And actually, that's one of the cheat codes when I was living in East Africa, particularly Rwanda, is that it is 8 hours ahead of New York. So essentially, by the time people are waking up, it's like 3 p.m. where I am. So my day, I got a lot done, and then people, in America, particularly East Coast, are just waking up, and then the West Coast is even different. That's like 12-hour difference, right? 11-hour difference, and so um, by the time people are waking up, man, I've already gotten most of my work done for the day, and the U.S. markets in Rwanda time don't open till like 3 p.m. So what does that mean for someone who's a trader, a professional trader? Well, it's actually advantageous to live in a part of the world that's ahead. Why is that? Here's the reason. Imagine that the U.S. markets open at 9:30 p.m. I mean 9:30 a.m. Right? Okay. The U.S. markets open at 9:30 a.m., which is effectively about maybe I think that's 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Rwanda time. So what does that mean? That before I even start trading, I would wake up, you know, hold the vibes, do whatever I need to do, drop my son off at school, can hit the pool, you know what I mean, go swimming, you know, do whatever I'm doing for the day, and my day is done. And then trading starts at 4 p.m., right? And so it's a whole different type of vibe. And then, you start getting emails, business emails, but it's 4 or 5 p.m. and you've already completed everything you want to do for your day recreationally, and you're just chilling at the house. And it's the mid to late afternoon. And it's just, to me, it works better that way. So living in another part of the world and still doing business in this part of the world, you're able to do that business in the afternoon while everyone is just waking up. So and everyone's just getting started. You already, knock things out. So that was one of the benefits of living and actually living abroad, is that you get things done a lot earlier than you would in the States. So let's get into, y'all want to get into some of these Forex charts? Let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and this is particularly for some of the folks who are my subscribers. Let's look at some of these trades that I'm in. And then I'm going to tell you the multiples, what it looks like. All right, let me share my screen, share window. Okay. All right. Y'all can see the chart? If you can't, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the Forex chart, y'all. So we can start with Microsoft. So just to let people know what Hugo's Way Forex allows you to do is, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, I'm back, y'all. Just had to stop my son from doing something destructive. Y'all still there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We're still
sir.
here.
Yeah, man, I just had to stop him doing something. I looked out the window and saw him trying to break something. All right. So, no, it's not. I still use Hugo's Way all over the world. So, uh, it works very well for me, rabbit hole. So, all right. So, Hugo's Way allows you to, and you can use whatever broker you're comfortable with, by the way, but I use Hugo's Way. It takes crypto payments, so I like that. Um, so, if we look at this is the daily chart on Microsoft. So, what you're allowed to do with Hugo's Way is that you can trade all these currency pairs, like 100 currency pairs, currency pairs like euro, US dollar, that type of stuff. Um, and then you can trade stocks as well on here. So here's a trade I'm in. So the beautiful thing about this is that because I have the chart set up the way it's set up, it's very specific to my trading strategy that I, developed. And so basically I'm able to see when we're about to have a catapult situation, which I call the trampoline, right? Um, what I noticed was, if you look at this chart here, we have these EMAs, right? They're called exponential moving averages, and there's different ones with different colors. What you need to pay attention to is that usually you want to use the bigger time frames, which is the weekly and the daily. The reason why a lot of people lose money with Forex is they've got you looking at the smaller time frames. Well, based on first principles thinking, you do not want to use the smaller time frames because there's more volatility the smaller time frame you go to. So like the 1 minute time frame is going to have a lot of volatility, right? A lot of volatility. And then M5 is going to have, so the volatility increases with the smaller time frames. We are not trying to deal with volatility because volatility brings unpredictability. We're trying to be as predictable as possible in what we're doing. So higher predictability comes with the higher time frames. So that's why we use the higher time frames. And most people who teach people Forex, they usually are using the M15 chart, which is the 15-minute or the 1 hour chart, which is too small of a time frame. You can use the 1 hour chart for entries, but you do not use it for your analysis. You use the big time frames for your analysis. That's like basically being in a forest or flying over a forest. So we're able to see the bigger time frame so we can see the bigger picture. And we're able to now see smoother patterns with less volatility. Okay? So what do we notice? On the weekly time frame, weekly means that every candle represents 1 week. So we get to see how this thing is really moving. And what you'll notice is, what do you notice? We notice is that every time this thing hits this white line, which is called the 200 EMA, which in the trading parlance we call the mayonnaise or the mayo. Every time it hits it, it likes to form a W and then go up. And let's just talk about the last time it did that. The last time it formed a W, began to form a W when it hit this white line, is October 16th, 2022. So you could have damn near been in this trade for the last 4 years if you caught this lick right here. So guess what I did? I looked at the same thing. And then we also noticed this is the RSI, the TDI RSI, and this is the stochastic. I always use that. These represent the lows whenever you start seeing the black line around the blue line or below the blue line. Below the blue line, we call it downward shark fin. That lets us know that this is oversold. So you want to always buy low, sell high. So these are the lows. These are the lows off of this right here, which is called the mayonnaise. You see a W form. W is an upward pattern. M's are downward patterns. Okay, so I see the W right there. You could have hit a buy and you could have been basically printing money for the last 4 years off of this trade. Now, when's the next time you saw something close? It was here. See that? So it didn't quite hit the white line, but it was very close, but it gave you the shark fin here. It gave you this downward, so it lets you know that this is oversold. So these are the low points. You always want to buy low, sell high. So if you got in here, that would have been 2025, a year ago. Okay? Now, what do we notice? Microsoft is giving us the same type of W pattern as it gave us here. Does everyone see this? You see this, Brother Anthony Red Pill?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See? The W pattern formed. Guess what I did? I got in on it. So you see me, I have two buys in.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed the lows, the W formed off of the Mayo. And guess what happened last week? Boom. This is what you call a God candle. A God candle form. And of course, I was a very happy person because I was already in the trade waiting for the W to form. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I will be in this trade for the next 4 years, printing money.
Right.
Okay? I will be in there and I'm already protected. So you'll see where the pink line is at the green line. That means that my stop loss is at my entry, so I cannot lose any money with this trade. Okay? So that's Microsoft. What does this also mean? That means that you do a Microsoft option as well on Robinhood. So I did a Microsoft option and I'm just sitting and waiting and it doesn't expire for a year. So I'm able to print money on this upward movement for the next coming year. because my Microsoft option does not expire until like June or July next year. And the people who are my subscribers already know that because I got into this Microsoft option a couple weeks ago. Okay. So that's it there. And you see that we're up tremendously with that. And this is the weekly. So if you go to the daily, it looks even crazier. You see these candles? Boom. Okay. Let's go to another. I'm in the Japanese index fund. This is Japanese 225, almost like the S&P 500, right? These are the top 225 companies in Japan. And this is the aggregate. This is called index. So you're also able to get in on indexes. So I'm in here. What do we notice about the Japanese? This is the daily. What do we notice? Well, when we start looking at the chart and we start expanding it, what do we notice? We notice that it's a nice smooth upward ride, and every now and then it'll dip down to what we call the water, which is the 50 EMA, which is this blue line here. Sometimes it'll dip below it, but it'll give us the lows, and then it just bounces back up in a trampoline. Well, I saw the trampoline, I saw it form here, form the low, boom, I got in. See, I got in there. And if you go to the weekly, you could even see it a little bit better right here. Okay, so I caught the weekly low and the daily low. So I'm in there and in profit there at 55,000 pips, right? And that's it right there. Okay. And you see this over and over again. You just have to be patient. You don't rush it. The problem with people doing Forex is people rush trades. I don't rush trades. I just wait. Particularly, there's charts that I like to make money off of. The charts that are really good to make money off of is the Japanese 225. Silver is really good as well. Okay. So I always keep an eye out for those particular charts. I'm also in gold. Do you see this here? This is gold. XAU USD is gold. Why am I in gold? Because I saw that gold was oversold. It's been going down, down, down. This is the weekly of gold. And it likes to play around on these EMAs. Usually it will be the blue EMA or the white EMA. Okay? You'll notice that it hits it and it bounces back. Okay? But let's look at this. Let's go a little bit more. Okay, you see how last time it played on the blue line here? Look what it did. And check this out. Let me give you the date for this when it started playing around on the blue line. Right there. That's 2023, y'all. If you caught it in 2023, if you caught gold 2023 on the blue line, you're eating food all the way into 2026. Do y'all see this?
Yes, sir.
It's very important for y'all to see this. I'm giving
Right.
y'all, like those of y'all who do Forex, they were seeing me talk about this for the first time. You're shaking your head and you're hitting your head right now on the table because no one ever showed you this before. Because they got you trading the 1 minute chart, doing scalping, which is completely unpredictable. They got you on a 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, and you're losing money because you're trapped in volatility. You might make some money now today, but then it all goes away tomorrow because of the big sweep downs and big sweep ups and all that. But when you use the bigger chart frame, you are able to avoid the volatility and just look at structure. So this gives you the true structure of gold. Gold has been going up, up, up. Since 2023, gold has been going up, y'all. It recently made a downward turn, which they call a correction, but this is the trampoline right here. We caught the trampoline right at this low with this shark fin right there, and that's on the weekly. Okay? So really what you want to do is you always want to catch the weekly low, the daily low, but if you can catch them together, that's even better. And the most profitable situation is you're going to have the monthly low, weekly low, and daily low occur simultaneously. That's what happened with Microsoft. We can look at that. Microsoft gave us the weekly low on the water. You see it right here? I mean, that's the monthly low, y'all. Every single candle is 1 month. So now you're able to see the structure. Look at the monthly. You see the last time Microsoft on the monthly hit the water? which is the
Hmm.
blue line,
Right.
it just went up like crazy.
That's right.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what happened was with Microsoft, I stopped Microsoft because I knew it hit the monthly low, the weekly low, and the daily low. When you catch those three together, that's basically printing money. I'm just giving y'all so many jewels, it's crazy right now.
Right.
Trust me, anybody who is paying attention to this and understands Forex, you understand that I have just given you real serious information.
Mm.
Okay? Like I'm giving you really serious, and for those who do Forex, you're seeing the charts in a whole different way. And this is something that took me some time to figure out.
Right.
And I'm just sharing it with y'all freely. Usually, for someone to teach you this, you're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Okay?
Hmm.
But, it doesn't hurt me to teach y'all this. So why not teach y'all? I'm just showing y'all my methodology. Okay? And I'm not saying this is the only methodology, but this is what has been successful for me. Okay?
Right.
Um, so that's why I'm in gold and I'm in profit with gold because I saw that gold has hit its daily low here and its weekly low right here off of the water, which is the 50 EMA.
Hmm.
So I'm expecting gold to keep going up this way. So this is just printing money. Silver. I am in silver, and you see me in profit in silver. Why am I in silver? Because silver is doing the same thing. It's giving us, look at this. It's coming off of the water again. Look at that. Off the water. It's forming a curve off the water, and we're looking for it to keep going up this way. So we caught it at the weekly low and the daily low. Okay. And so we're in buys on gold. So as you see, we're in profit in Microsoft. We're in profit in the Japanese, which is called the Nikkei as well. And so that's the Japanese index. We're in profit in gold. We're in profit in silver. And we are profit in Ethereum. So I'm in Ethereum as well. Why am I in Ethereum? You see this W? This is on the daily. Remember, W is an upward formation.
Hmm.
Look at this. What do you notice with Ethereum? Monthly low, weekly low, and I caught it with the daily low here. But I'm in the trade and my trade is protected. So I can't lose any money because my stop loss is right at my entry. So we're going to just let it ride out. So I'm now risk free. Okay. And I'm looking at a couple other things too. I'm in an Intel. So I use this to also evaluate my options. I'm in an options play. I'm in an Intel options play and it's looking good because I'm noticing that right here, right by the water, we're seeing that this is forming on like a weekly low here. We have a daily low and we have a structure forming. So we should start seeing some upward movement with Intel going up here. It looks like a W going up here. So we're going to see what happens to the charts today. It might go down to here and then bounce back up. But we're looking for a springboard catapult. So that's how I do my options, man. I mean, that's how I look at these charts to also do options on Robinhood because this chart is very, very detailed. So,
So you're not DCAing on most of these. You just
no, no, no. So this is
start.
just forex trade.
Oh, you're in
So
forex, right? Right. Right.
yeah,
Right.
this is just forex trades. DCA is buying the stock itself,
Right. Okay.
right? But this shows me the lows and it shows me the highs and it
Right.
shows me the trend and what Intel likes to do. So if you look at this daily chart, Intel likes to ride off of this water. It likes to ride off the water. Well, it violated the water, so now this is a true low. So it is at its low point, and so and it also likes to ride off what we call the grapefruit on the weekly. And look what it did; it went
Hmm.
below it. So we're seeing
Right.
this to be, this is looking to be the springboard right here. Okay. And we're going to pop up here. All right. So that's that's how we are set with the trades. I think we have our good brother Moby on. I'm going to bring him on stage. We're going to talk about what we're going to do um, in terms of this reverse engineering. He's on. Uh, Let me just finish covering these trades, and then we can get straight into the reverse engineering of the phones that we're going to be doing with Patah set. Um, but yeah, you can look at this and see how it likes to. Last time it made a big upward movement, it came off of what you call the grapefruit, which is the 22 moving average on the weekly. That's your springboard there. And I'm seeing that this is a possible springboard here with the low there and a low on the stochastic, right? So that's why I'm able to look at Intel, and I could even get into an Intel trade here and put my stop loss there. But I'm already into an Intel option. So this gives me guidance that my option is most likely going to be profitable if this is the springboard right here. Okay. So that's how I do what I do. Um, so you see me in profit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. There's one trade I'm in that I'm not in profit, and that is the Euro Aussie dollar. But I see that it has a monthly low, which is right here. You see that monthly shark fin here, and then stochastic is low, and then the weekly is low as well. It's looking to form a W. So hopefully this should be profitable here on the Euro Aussie dollar. But let's just do the math. So whenever I get in on a monthly low, I'm looking for a 30x return. When I get in on a weekly low, I'm looking for a 20x return. And when I get in on a daily low, I'm looking for a 10x return. What does that mean? That means that if I risk $1,000 on this trade, because it's at the monthly low, I'm looking to make 30x the $1,000, which is $30,000. If it's only the weekly low and not the monthly low, I'm looking to make 20x, which would be $20,000. And then if it's the daily low, I'm looking to make 10x, which is $10,000. What does this mean? That means that if all of these, let me just let you all know the math. All of these, if I do the same risk of $1,000, let's say, and it could be $100, but I'm just going to use 1,000, and I'm in 5 trades, okay? That means I'm risking $5,000 in all of my trades. So if I if 5 of them are at the monthly low, let's just take the monthly low. Let's say 5 of them are all at the monthly low. That means I'm looking for a 30x return on each of them, right? That means that for a $5,000 risk, if I get 100% of them correct and I don't lose on any of the trades, that's $5,000 becoming $150,000. Does everyone understand the math?
Yep.
Okay, let's just say that I miss and I'm wrong on 4 of the 5. I've just lost $4,000, let's say, right? But that's usually not going to happen because I usually protect my trades. I usually move my uh, stop loss to my entry. So I'm about to do that right now with Microsoft because the charts are open. Right now the market is open. So now you just see me right there. I just moved my stop loss above my entry. So even if I get stopped out, I'm going to get stopped out with money. So there's no risk anymore. There's no $1,000 risk per se. But let's just say that there was. Do you realize that out of the 5 trades, if I'm lose $1,000 each on 4 of them and I just get one of them right, I'm up $26,000? Why is that? Because of the 5 trades, I risked $1,000 each. I lost 4 of them, which means I lost $4,000. But one of them actually I got right and won on that one, which gave me $30,000. So I made $30,000 and I lost $4,000. I'm up 26,000. I like those odds. that all you have to do is to be right 1 out of 5 times with the way that I trade, because I use the big time frames. Let's even go to the daily. Let's just say that I was just going to do the daily and I caught them at the daily, which is a lot easier to catch and more frequent. The daily low. Okay, I'm looking for 10x. And let's just say I have 5 trades. Well, I lose 4 of them, and each of them is 1,000. I lost $4,000, and one of them I was successful on, which is then $10,000. I just made a $6,000 profit because it's a $4,000 loss with a $10,000 come up. So I made $6,000 off of being right 1 out of 5 times. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all understand how this works? And I know
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it's hard to wrap your head around because they don't teach you like this when it comes to Forex. You guys pay for these courses. People, they try to, take money from you, from training you. You end up losing money, and they don't show you the money management because they don't show you these numbers that I'm talking about. Okay? So it's very important for you all to understand what we're talking about. Yeah, big up Lay RTP. Big up to you as well. That's the brother out of London that I saw that bigged you up, Red Pill. Um, so yeah, this is how we do it. We're just looking at odds and averages, and we're looking to get into smart trades. And so my style of trading, because I'm on the weekly and the daily, I don't have to be glued at the chart. When I first started doing this, I used to be staring at the chart 10 hours a day
Mm.
because I was on the smaller time frames where it's
Right.
more volatile.
Right.
Here, I get into a trade and I forget about it for a whole week or two. I don't even have to look at the chart for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's just a more comfortable way to trade. All right. Now, why don't we come off of this? And I don't know if there's any questions about the Forex charts, but we can take questions, and we have a good brother Amobi here, and we're going to chop it up with him. But let me stop sharing. All right. Here we are. Brother Red Pill, Brother Anthony, you got any comments, questions?
I'm in school right now, just taking
Okay.
notes.
Was everything understandable?
Yes.
Yeah, I try to make it really understandable for
Yeah, it was
people.
understandable. I don't have any particular questions, my brother.
Okay. Somebody calling in? Okay, look like Anthony's getting a private call. All right. Um, let's just look at these Africa stocks real quick. On uh, yes, you are correct, Shorty Boogie. It's called swing trading. Yep. And so you'd understood everything that I talked about. You'd have understood everything I talked about. If you do spring swing trading, it's the best way to trade. I just call it long, bigger time frame trading. That's what I call it. The structures are the same. You could do it on the 1 hour chart, but it's just you could do it on the 15-minute chart. But the problem is that those charts are too small. Okay. Yes, forex is it can be short term based, um, but I use the bigger time frame, so I can sit in the trade for a whole year, and I plan to with Microsoft and Ethereum. So um, every day, you're just making some type of profit, like weekly when you lock into those types of trades, and you can cash out whenever you want. Okay. Um, let's just get into some of these Africa stocks real quick and see how they're doing. Last week, I believe I got into a Nigerian stock. Why is that? Um, I just want to show because some of Red Pill's listeners didn't get to tune in last week because he was busy doing what he does. And let me share this article with you all.
Yeah, before you get to that
Yeah,
article,
go
man,
ahead.
that walkthrough you did last week with what was it, NCR? I think it was NCR.
Yes.
Man, that was
Yeah.
fantastic. Very educational, and I'm glad you did that walkthrough of purchasing that stock all the way through. So that was
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah. I showed people how to purchase the stock from buying your stable coin. And if you,
Right.
need to, you can just look at last week's show. You can go on Sankofa Radio's Facebook. You can go on my Facebook, HERU OFORI ATTA. Go to last week's, which would have been last week was, what was the date for last week? The date was the 29th of August.
Yep.
And just go to our Facebook and you'll be able to see me do the whole walkthrough if you need it. Okay, it's like literally every step I showed.
Yeah, no, it's
Um,
real good.
all right, so here's what we got here. I'm going to share this with you all. This is for the benefit of Red Pill's audience who missed this last week. Essentially, what it's saying here is that the best performing stock market in the world, according to Bloomberg, not according to HERU. Let me share this, and then we're going to get a Moby on real quick. Um, the best performing stock exchange in the world is Nigeria. A lot of you would not know that. And look what it says. They posted the world's top returns this year, vaulting past the Korean stock exchange. Okay? This makes all the sense in the world because I showed you all in earlier shows that out of the 10 fastest rising economies, 8 of them are African. 7 are on the continent. The eighth one, Guyana, which is a majority black country of African descent, is in South America slash Caribbean. So if 8 out of the 10 are basically African countries, 7 are on the continent, you're going to expect to see explosive growth in those stock markets. Nigeria being a powerhouse of West Africa and even Africa, it makes most sense in the world that their stock exchange would be doing the best in the world because it's commensurate with fast growth. Okay, so what I did was I went to Grok and I asked, what are the top performing Nigerian stocks? Gave me the top 5, and I selected the first one. And what we did was we looked at it on so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share Clydestone with you all and go into the portfolio. And you'll see in my portfolio that I'm holding NCR and Clydestone. Okay. So why did I get NCR? This is the top performing Nigerian stock for the year. So I was able to buy it. And why did I buy it? This is the this is the talk of it. This is right here. This is the story of the numbers. The last 3 years, you'd have made 40 times your money. Okay? 3,900% in the last 3 years, this stock. What do they deal with? They deal with ATM and payment systems. And they have ATM machines all over Nigeria. They deal with other types of fintech and payment, and they've been doing very well. In the last year, you'd have made 22 times your money. So $10,000 would have become $220,000. So I got in on this and I'm holding and I'm dollar cost averaging. So every week I'll be putting money into this particular stock as I'm doing with Clydestone. Let's look at Clydestone. Clydestone is still not allowing us to buy because no one's selling. Everyone's holding Clydestone for dear life because of the explosive growth of Clydestone. But I'm monitoring it to see when the buy button appears again. Here is Clydestone, y'all. So I'm holding Clydestone, and my growth in Clydestone since I started a month ago is 22% up. Okay, so I've made 22% on my money in 1 month. But let's look if I was in this for a year, for 3 years, I would have made 158 times my money. That's crazy, y'all. That's $10,000 becoming 1.5 million. In 1 year, I would have made 47 times my money. So if a year ago today I put $10,000 into Clydestone, I'd be sitting on $470,000. Okay, and in the last 6 months, Clydestone is up 9.5x. That means that
Wow.
$10,000 would be $95,000 today. Okay,
Right.
so this is why we do what we do. Okay, we're
Mm.
waiting for this buy button to become active again so we can buy more, but all is not, never fear, because we'll just go ahead and put the money into NCR as well. So that's what we're doing. All of these stocks, they're doing well, and you just keep dollar cost averaging, y'all. Okay, it's just that simple. And La Portia's not playing any games with anybody. So La Portia's in there, and she says she bought a couple more African tech stocks, CWG, Chams, it Transact, and plus NCR. And I'm going to look at those. Thank you
Right.
for pointing that out, La Portia. I'm going to look at those, and we're going to see how we can get in on that as well. You know what I'm saying? And La Portia, if you want to call in and chop it up, feel free to call in because it seems like you're really on top of it. I'd like to hear your reasoning for getting CWG Chams and at Transact, and I know why you got NCR. But I'd like to hear your reasoning. I'll put the call in link into the Facebook, and you can call in and chop it up. We're gonna have a Moby in about 2 minutes. Come and talk about what we need to do, but I want to make this link available to anyone who wants to call in and chop it up, talk about how you're doing, because the moment that you are buying these stocks, you are now an international investor, right? It must feel good. And for some of you all, you're the first investors in your family. And you're not only just an investor, you are an international investor. So you're holding US stocks, you're holding African stocks. It's a nice mix. And you're able to move in this world in a different way. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share the link for calling in. So anyone can just call in whenever you want and chop it up. If you want to be camera ready, you can be camera ready. If not, you don't have to come on camera per se, but you can still chop it up with us live and direct. And I'd like to, see how y'all are doing with these stocks and how exciting it is. Call in here. I'm posting it in the chat right now for my Facebook and my YouTube. I'll post it and I'll pin it for y'all to call in, okay? And then we're going to talk about what we're doing with Patah's set as well. Let me go to YouTube and I'm going to post the YouTube. Let's go here, and we are live there. Man, YouTube be hating. YouTube be hating, hating, hating. But a lot of people come on YouTube. So when we talk about the health stuff, y'all, just know that YouTube really, really be hating. We get these reversals, and YouTube doesn't want y'all to see it. But we keep doing what we're doing. So on my YouTube, the call-in has been pinned, and I'm going to also pin it on the Facebook, and we're going to let Moby talk about what's in store and when the classes are going to start, what we call the church sessions, and we're doing it for strategic reasons, calling it that, and it's really a new spiritual system that solves our black box problem. And if you want to know more about it, you go to patahset.church. I am just now looking to save this for you all. For those of you all who are watching, for those of you all who are watching right now, I am just pinning the comment for you all to call in. Then we're going to have Amobi Christopher come talk about this reverse engineering. Okay, Portia says she called in. And all right, hold on one second. Pin comment. I did it. It's pinned. All right. So LaPortia called in, and we're gonna have LaPortia talk real quick as we're on this topic, and then we're gonna get deep into what the good brother Amobi got lined up for y'all. So Portia's in. Add you to the stage, Portia. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. All right, Portia. And I think Red Pill is dropped off, so he'll have to call back in. All right, Portia. What's up, Portia?
Hey, peace and blessings, HERU. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing awesome. Awesome. I just been following your good word, Mondays and Wednesdays. You've been on point. So
Okay.
Yeah, and
So let,
I can't express the amount of gratitude I have for what you're doing. I mean, you're really giving $1 million worth of game for free, and so bless you, brother.
yes. Let's just let me ask you a question. Um, you have investment in your family? Your family like has dealt with investment, or you kind of the first one?
I am the black sheep, right? I'm the lone wolf, however you want to put it. No one else is doing what I'm doing over here. Now, my stepmother and I, we did, uh, get into stocks back in the early, well, I think about 2012. We kind of had a mentor, but he was doing it a certain way. What's that book? It's How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was following his method,
Okay.
but he didn't really talk about doing dollar cost averaging, which would be the easier way. And then
Yes.
also, no one talks about foreign stocks.
No, they don't. But you see what they're missing out on, right?
Yeah, there's plenty of growth and opportunity in Africa. And you know what's crazy is I've never heard of Dangote, but
Mm-hmm.
yesterday there was a video on YouTube talking about old money luxury and talking about the Dangote family and how their wealth goes back into the 1800s and how they've been
Yeah.
building up West Africa and all this stuff. And I thought that was divine timing because I was questioning the IPO that was coming out
Mm-hmm.
with Dangote, which I think is supposed to be released next month.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that. I didn't realize how deep and rooted that family is in African
Oh,
commerce. Um,
yes, yes. So Portia, is it La Portia or Portia?
you can call me Portia.
All right, Portia. So here's the thing. This is why traveling is so important. Um, so I've known about Dangote for about 20 years. And the reason why I know about Dangote is because I've lived in Nigeria and I've done business in West Africa and I've done construction in Ghana and in Gambia. And when you're doing construction, you're buying cement.
From
Guess
Dangote.
guess guess whose cement is the main cement that's bought in West Africa? Dangote cement.
Mm-hmm.
So I've known that he's been doing business, great business in Africa for a long time. And so when he got into oil, I knew it was going to be successful too. And I saw what he was doing with the oil, and what he's doing with the oil play is such a big play for all Africa, for actually all black people worldwide, to bring us
Yes.
to a place where we are now producers instead of consumers. Um, and we can help set the price of oil because we'll be able to have huge market share because the best crude oil actually comes from the west coast of Africa, Nigeria.
Mm.
And a lot of people don't know that. But so that's why when we were talking about these international stocks, I let people know about Dangote and the Dangote IPO. I think that's even more exciting than SpaceX in terms of its upside. Now, um, I don't know if you tuned in shows before where I showed the refinery complex and what it looks like in Nigeria and how expansive it is. I don't know if you saw that show.
I did see that show, and I
Yeah.
also saw it yesterday on that
Hmm.
video I watched about Dangote.
Yep. So it's very very serious, you know. But so now let's talk about you. What was your before you started tuning into this show? What was your experience in stocks and trading and any of this stuff that we're talking about now?
I had some experience. Believe it or not, I was an early investor in Palantir. Palantir
Hmm.
stock released in 2020. My
Hmm.
cousin told me about it. He was like, "Ah, he told me it was a defense software company at the time,
Hmm.
and he just kind of explained it to me. I think the stock started out of $8. I didn't buy right away, and then it jumped up to like 45. I'm like, man, I missed my opportunity. Then it
Right.
dropped down to 20 something. I said, oh, let me buy this now, and I held it for a while. But then I wind up selling it before it took off. I'm kind of glad too because I don't really now that Palantir has evolved into what it is now, I
Right.
didn't really want to support what it was doing. So,
Right.
but I've been dibbling and dabbling with stocks and playing around with my own IRA. I had self control. I self managed my own IRA. Um, but the information that you provided though gave me a different angle on it, right? A different perspective.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, different
Absolutely.
perspective. Because I was just, hey, I'll hold it for a couple of years, and if it makes money, if it doesn't, then I'm gonna go
Right.
ahead and sell it instead of thinking long term.
Right. Exactly. you start thinking long term when you start seeing those DCA calculators, right? The dollar cost averaging calculators, and the type of money you would have, you just held on and just accumulated. And it's actually lower risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's important. So no, I'm glad that you had some type of exposure. And how did you find out about the show?
Through Red Pill. Yeah, I've been
Okay.
following Red. Yeah. So I started following Red probably back in 23 or 22. And
Okay.
I put in the comments that the first class I took with him was Solid Gold Sundays with when he partnered up with Bitcoin Bully. And
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin Bully was showing us how to accumulate Bitcoin and gold at the same time
Mm-hmm.
and opening up your own trust,
Right.
and everything, accumulating your gold. So I
Mm-hmm.
was on, and I started, getting into crypto heavily since then.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, you're not new to investing, but
No,
your horizons have expanded.
exactly. My knowledge has expanded by watching your shows and to deciding what's going to be profitable in the future instead of looking at what's happening now. Right?
Great.
I'm better at a little bit of prognosticating, and then also having AI kind of help me evaluate. That's how I got
Yes.
into those other African stocks.
Okay. Great, great, great. And someone's asking real quick what platforms I use. Okay, so for Forex, I use Hugo's Way. For buying stocks and stock options, I use Robinhood. And for African stocks, I use mystocks.africa. Okay?
Yeah, and I
So,
see that Robinhood is starting to trade real world assets.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that platform is expanding, and I think Webull does prediction market now. So all these different platforms are expanding into different areas now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about are you in any of these AI stocks?
Uh, no, not yet,
Okay.
not
All
yet.
right, cool. But you've seen my rundown on the AI stocks and the thesis behind them, right?
Oh, for sure, for
Okay,
sure, and
great.
that's my plan overall is to start dollar cost averaging in starting this month. With the reason why I didn't do the AI stocks, to be honest with you, is because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see what Nvidia was going to do with this Ryzen chip. This
Mm-hmm.
Ryzen chip is completely changing the game, and
Mm-hmm.
AMD and Intel can't keep up because they have the old 886 processor, which is just
Mm-hmm.
process one instruction at a time. This new Ryzen chip, it processes multiple instructions at one time, and Nvidia is ahead of the curve, and so these other two companies are still waiting to catch up. Now,
Right.
the storage industry is still strong because we always need storage. But as far
Mm-hmm.
as AMD and Intel, I was kind of hesitant because I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with Nvidia.
Right. And so what I would say to that is that has been the story for the last decade, right? Or AMD, particularly AMD, is AMD going to be able to keep up with NVIDIA, right? Because NVIDIA is definitely number one. But the charts tell quite a different story. So this is an appropriate time to look at some of these AI stocks just to flesh out your thesis, right? Because what you're saying is not. What you said was a very intelligent assessment, right? By looking at what's going on. But if you look at the history of this thing, we see that NVIDIA definitely is number one. But when we talk about the growth, let's look at NVIDIA in the last. So I'm going to share this screen. And then we're going to get to Brother Amobi. He's been waiting patiently, but hopefully this has been enjoyable for him as well in terms of this conversation. All of us need to hear this. So check this out. So this is in the video, right? Do you see the screen? Do you see the screen, LaPortia? I don't know if you can hear me still. Can you hear me, LaPortia? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I see it.
All right. So, oh, Portia dropped off, so she'll have to call back. But what I wanted to show her was when you look at NVIDIA, 1 year growth of NVIDIA is 22%. 5 years is 1,000%, which is a 10x, right? But let's go to AMD and let's look at AMD's 1 year is 175%. So that's 9 times more than NVIDIA. And then the 5 year is 361. So what's happening right now is that overall NVIDIA has grown more in the last 5 years, But in the last year, NVIDIA is AMD is outpacing NVIDIA by 9 times. So this is why these are the type of numbers that I like to look at. And let's just look at the max. So the max for NVIDIA is 2,600%. And let's look at the max. The max for AMD rather. Let's look at the max for NVIDIA. I like to just compare these numbers just to see. Okay, 28,000. Okay, yeah. So here's what we're going to do is I think that LaPortia's on. I don't know if she saw the numbers that I was talking about in the past year. Yeah, Portia, did you see what I was talking about?
No, because I got a phone call and it knocked me
Oh,
out. Yeah.
okay. So I wanted to show you the growth of NVIDIA for the past year. So the past year, NVIDIA has been doing 22%, right? Which is not that great in 1 year, right? And for the past 5 years, it's done 1,000%. So it's done a nice 10x in 5 years, right?
Hmm.
1 year is 22%. So then I look at AMD, and AMD for 1 year is at 176%, which is 9 times more than NVIDIA. You see that? So you're seeing, oh, let me see if he got dropped off again. Oh, that
No,
was
I'm
Red
still
Pill.
here.
Okay, Red Pill got dropped off. Okay, here he's back. So you see the growth differential for the year? So you'd have done better investing in AMD for the year than NVIDIA because you'd have made 9 times more money. But look at the 5 year. The 5 year tells a story
Hmm.
of 362%, whereas it's like 1,000% for NVIDIA. And then the max is 2,600, and NVIDIA was like 20,000. So what you're seeing is that overall your thesis is correct. You get more growth with NVIDIA than you do AMD. However, in the last year, AMD has far outpaced NVIDIA. That was because of a couple factors. Now, when you're talking about that NVIDIA chip, do a little research on the Tesla chip that they've developed, which is actually even more impressive than the NVIDIA chip. So, take a look at that and let me know what you think about that as well.
Will
Um,
do.
and then we look at Intel, which I have some options on. In the past year, Intel has given us 5 times our money, 400%, which is really nice in a year, right? Last 5 years, it's been 85%. So Intel's actually just taking off. So it's actually really a good time because look at the runway for Intel. In the last year, it has gone up 5 times, 400%. So I like to look at these numbers that way as to what's happening. Red Pill is back on. But no, that was a good analysis. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And we're going to have Brother Amobi talk now. And then after Amobi, we'll continue with some of these stocks. And I'll let you see some of these stock options that I'm in. All right. So, Portia, I don't know if you had any questions or any comments, but definitely thank you for calling in. I want to get into Brother Amobi, but if you have any questions,
I just have
please.
one comment. I would
Yes.
say look into Easy Transact because it's a Nigerian exchange,
Mm-hmm.
and it does payment processing for Nigeria. It's similar to
Ah,
Gladstone.
okay. And what's it? Let's look at it. It's called Easy. Let me share
Easy,
this.
it's ET Transact.
Okay, I'm going to share this tab. ET Transact.
Yeah, trans with a Z.
Okay, let's
Act.
try it again.
ETRANZACT.
ET
RA.
R. Sorry, AN. Oh, I need to delete all that. ETRANZ
ZACT. Mm-hmm.
ACT. Ooh, I spelled it wrong.
Easy Transact.
That's
ET.
it right here. That's it right here. Okay, that's it, right?
Let me see. No, that's not it.
E-Transact.
Yeah, you got two. Yeah, take away the extra T. It's ETR.
Yeah, no, this is it. etransact.ng, right? Yeah, that's it. You see my screen?
Yeah, it is ettransact.ng. That's it.
Okay, let's look at how it's been doing. So for the
Easy
past,
Transact International Share. Yep, that's it.
okay, so for the past year, it's done 61%. 3 years, 45%. I like to read about more of what they do. Maybe you're catching it really early before it, takes
I
off.
am.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna look into that as well. But yeah, thanks for that heads up. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
look into them. But yeah, anything with payment processing in Africa, and if they're a leader, they're going to be doing very well. Because the thesis is if you have a growing economy, you have to have a velocity of money. Velocity of money only happens when you have smooth transactional tools, right? And so if that's what they're doing, they're going to be getting a good piece of the economic growth in the market share, which you see upward movement of their stock price. So I'm going to do a little bit more due diligence on them, and I might start dollar cost averaging on them as well. So good looking out, Portia. And I love this that we can like actually do this as a community. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. This is what it's all about, people helping people.
Absolutely. And we got Brother Red Pill back on. Okay, so Sister Portia, thank you for calling in, and feel free to call in any Monday or Wednesday with any questions or input that you may have. All right?
Yes, I will on Monday. I have an aunt that has fibromyalgia, so I'll call in then. We'll talk later. Thank you for the
Yep.
time.
All right, thank you. All right, we are in now with Brother Amobi. Brother Amobi, you want
Greetings, greetings.
to? Yeah, man. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for waiting.
Oh, no problem. I enjoyed it, especially the AI conversation.
Yeah, yeah, man. We do this every week, man, and we're dollar cost averaging and doing options trades on AI. We'll talk about this after. I want to be sensitive to your time because you've been waiting. But this is very exciting. So when we talked about Patah set 2 weeks ago, you came on with Brother Ken Eccles, and we got a lot of feedback. We're over probably 100 emails I received of people interested in joining the Church of Patah Aset around the training, right? And so people are not joining because they having some spiritual differences or what have you. They want to join because of what we're actually talking about delivering, which is very, very important. And what we're delivering is a solution to a black box requirements of us no longer being technologically deficient and us no longer being disunited, right? Those are the pillars that we're working on right now. So, oh, Moby got disconnected. I'll ask him to call back in. Uh, Brother Red Pill, it seems like you keep dropping out. Something going on with your system?
Yes, sir. Something
Yeah.
is going very wrong. It
Okay.
started yesterday when my tower kept going out.
Oh
There was
wow.
some issues in my neighborhood with them messing around with the cables. So yeah, I'm going through it right now. I've
All
been
right.
on the hotspot, but it keeps
Okay.
dropping.
All right. Okay. I got it. All right. We got Brother Moby on. Uh, Moby, let's get it. So let me just share real quick what we got going on with Patah Set and the live training that's going to be taking place. We've got a lot of people interested in the live training, and we're going to start giving dates and what the toolkit that people need to purchase and the donation fees. And so when we talk about donation fees, y'all, this will be the first time that you'll be able to get a tax deduction for teaching yourself and your children to become engineers. So you'll be, paying for the time of the instructor priest, but you'll be in turn be having whatever payment that you pay be tax deductible. Okay, and this is why we have Church. So this is a whole different thing that we're doing, and a lot of people are excited. Okay, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just simply share the website information, and then I'm going to have Amobi take over to tell you all what's what to expect, and the schedule, and the pricing for learning and what you're going to actually end up walking away with once you do this course on reverse engineering a smartphone. All of us have a smartphone, but how many of us know how to take it apart, know all the different pieces of it, and know how to build it back together and even innovate on it? And this is something that all of our children should be learning, right? If they're going to have a device that's so important to them, it would behoove them to learn how it operates inside out, right? That's just the only logical thing. And we just want to be engaged in logical behavior. So, this is the website here, y'all. We're going to, it's patahset.church. And this is the live training part here. And the first sessions that we're going to do is the smartphone reverse engineering. Priest engineer Moby Christopher, who's on with us live. After that, we'll be doing 3D printing with Ken Ackles. And after that, we'll be moving to some other serious and fun things. So, Brother Moby, I'm going to stop sharing the screen, have you take over, and then you can
I just
share whatever screen you want. And let's get busy. All right. So I'm going to make you the feature speaker. Let's make you the feature speaker right now. Let's see how I can do that. Okay, there you go.
greetings, greetings everyone. Um, I'm back, and I wanted to go into what we would be offering from the church. Um,
Your microphone is it's a little difficult. It's like coming in and out a little bit.
I mean,
I mean, we can hear your voice, but the mic is coming in and out for some reason.
test,
Yeah, I can hear you now. Now, somebody just sent me a message saying that no,
test.
try it again. Try the email again, Kwame.
Oh,
Please try the email again. Just go to the website, try the email again, and I'm sure it'll go through because I've received over 100 emails. So just go on to the website again, and I will put the. Let me see where you're at, Kwame. Kwame, you're on YouTube. Are you on Red Pill's YouTube? What I want to do is I want to post, be very clear. It is just info@patahasset.church. Okay, so just try that again today, and let me know if you have a problem while we're on right now, Kwame. But everything should go through because I've received over 100 emails at that address. Okay, but please go ahead, Omobi. Let's see if your mic sounds better.
testing, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it seems like something's dropping out a little bit.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
It might have feedback.
Yeah, it might be. I think maybe the mic is too loud.
Okay, let me see.
So it might be clipping.
Or I might need to turn you. How's that?
Well, let's try it. Keep talking. Let's
How's
see.
that?
Yeah,
How's
keep
that?
talking. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I wanted to start out with um, what I do on a daily basis. This is my company, Vortex Technology,
Hmm.
and this is our motto. We believe in clear rules. Human beings are not obsolete. Human beings are not labor units. Human beings are visionaries. So that's kind of how I think, do things. Um,
Okay,
so
hold on one second.
yeah,
All right, Kwame, it's spelled wrong there. It was CHURCH. That's why it's not coming
I
through.
see what the problem is now.
You see what's problem with your mic?
Yeah, how I sound now.
Yeah, it's not clipping as much.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
I had two windows. You remember when I dropped off? I had two.
yeah, that's why. So Kwame, just change it to dot church instead of dot CURCH. Okay, that's what the problem was. Okay, and if you go to the website, you'll see it says dot CHURCH. It may have earlier said been spelled wrong or something, but just change the spelling to dot church and you'll be just fine. All right. All right. Please, sorry for the interruption, bro.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
So I wanted to go through some, just to let people know where we're going, I wanted to go through some of my products that I'm engineering right now. So right now we have the Vortex Mesh. So when we get this phone situated, when at the end of the course, we're going to be able to communicate with each other off the grid. So I have a bigger plan for telecommunications. I have satellites designed, balloons, things that we can launch right away, so we can actually start our own communication network. Okay, this is just an example. Have I shared the screen? Hold on.
You should be able to share it.
Yeah, this one. Okay. Right. So back to So I have here what's called a vortex mesh. So this is a network where we'll be off the grid. We can actually start right away once I configure the network and start deploying some repeaters and stuff like that. But this is basically how we can share communication amongst each other, and you don't have to rely on the cell phone company. You don't have to rely on their backbone or anything like that. So in case anything happens and they want to shut off communication, we'll have access to communication between each other. Okay, it's called a vortex mesh. So once you finish the class, you'll have access to a network, and then we'll be deploying our own network off the grid. Okay, I'm not going to go in too much into these. I actually do AI security, and I train AIs and I build AIs. My background is in cybersecurity. The reason I know so much about the phone is I used to build computers, and the phone is basically a computer. I can take apart a laptop, put it back together, make sure it's working, that kind of stuff. Okay. Um, I also built a AI. I'm training it right now. Um, what in the future, this is will be available to you through the phone. So it's not just you're building a phone; you're becoming a part of a network. We want to get out of the black box. We're gonna have our own black box. Okay, so you'll have access to your AI. It's gonna be better than ChatGPT because I built it a little differently. I'm training it right now in engineering, and then I'll be training one in general chat, frontier model. Okay, this is how the console will look when you pull it up. So you see Queen Bee here. That's part of the mesh network too. So everything is going to be connected. I've also designed some um, servers for AI. I call it the Vortex Cube. You can see it here. For the last 3 years, I've just been in the lab designing stuff and using the AI, to its fullest. Um, we're gonna be able to have one unit to mine Bitcoin, and also I have one unit to. These are about 3 4 months mine, and also run AI. One of the reasons I did this is because when we start in Africa, I don't want to have to rely on the West to send us their silicon chips, and you know they put embargoes and all of that stuff. We're gonna be able to buy stuff off the shelf and put it in here and get the same kind of performance from this, and much cheaper when it comes to power, because it's built around AI. Okay. Also, I've created a phone. Um, I probably going to flush this out by the end of the class, and I'll show you guys all the different parts I've put in here. But this is just a concept picture right now, but it's fully engineered. So that's the phone. Here I call it white label Huey 1 because this is my off the shelf design for robotics. And like I said, I don't want to just do robotics. This robot here, as you can see with the joints, um, they're it's for uh, individuals who've lost limbs, and you can take the arm out. You know, it's all compartmentalized from the shoulder. So I built it this way, so if anybody's missing limbs, it's like a dual product kind of thing.
There's
Okay.
a question for you, Amobi,
Uh huh.
on the screen right now. Do you see it? Will the
Oh,
guest mobile phone
yeah.
guard against cell phone tower simulators that violate our privacy?
What was the question?
Do you see it on the screen? It's on the screen right now.
Yeah, I just popped out. Will the guest mobile phone guard against cell phone tower? Yes, it will. You will be completely off the grid. I am actually the one, I do cybersecurity, so I'm going to lock it down. It's a different OS than Android or iPhone. So it's open source. So I'll be locking that down. It comes out of the box off the grid, kind of. You can we can fiddle with it so we can get it to where we want to be. So
And people will be learning some of that in the course as well.
yes, I'm gonna be teaching them how to install it. I'm gonna be teaching them how to segregate their information, how to separate themselves from Google if it's an Android phone, that kind of stuff.
All right. So before you move on to this, to the CAD and all of that, I want to focus on the phone thing because that's what we have on deck, right? There's these questions with the phone. So I want you to walk through the. Let's just focus on the phone part in the course that's coming up. I
Hmm.
want you to walk through what someone can expect. To just think about where most people are in terms of technology, from children to adults. They don't really know anything besides being a consumer, right? And learning how to post things on Facebook or take a picture with their phone or what have you. Can you talk about like what type of gap is going to be covered in your course where they're going to be going from A to Z? What type of people are they going to become after they take your course in terms of their relationship to a phone?
Okay. As far as the relationship to the phone, you're going to have parts. So anything goes wrong with the phone, you're going to have the tools to take the phone apart and replace parts. Okay.
Hmm.
So your phone is like a Lego set at
Hmm.
that point.
And
Okay.
you'll also be teaching the anatomy of the phone, almost like the anatomy of the
I
human
have
body, right? So all the different parts.
Yeah, I have here exactly how the course is going to go. It's going to be a
Hmm.
4 week course. Uh, every major smartphone component will be discussed and shown how it's going to work. Motherboard, processor, RAM, storage, battery, charging systems, display, touchscreen, cameras. We're going to take the phone apart and figure out exactly what component goes where. Okay. Um, you're going to have a repair tool identification document, lithium battery, workstation setup. You basically we're going to send you a package with the tools that you need to service the phone and take the phone apart and put it back together. Okay.
Right. So I want to be clear on this. So the people, the course fee, which we're calling a donation, because it'll be a tax write-off for you. All of everything that goes through the church is a tax write-off for you as a member. And what's happening is that whatever the donation fee is for this, course, which we'll talk about, it comes with a kit. So everyone is going to be getting a kit that Amobi's putting together, which will have all of the tools necessary to take apart the phone and to work with the phone. And part of the kit will be the phone. So
Right.
there's a phone we're going to get, which is like a mock phone, and that phone is going to be part of the price that you're paying for the course, which will be tax deductible, and it'll have all the tools in it, and we'll be able to identify what the tools are used for. So everyone will get a packet, right? That Amobi is going to instruct you on what to use the different items of the packet for. All right, please move forward.
Now in week two, we're gonna show you how to disassemble it, screw it, map it, flex cables, how to put things together, how the antenna works. So it's everything is laid out. Testing, battery replacement, screen replacement. So everything is laid out by week. And then in week three, diagnosing if you have a problem with the phone, showing you how to diagnose the phone, troubleshoot the phone. We are also, these are the things, some of the things that we're including in a package: a digital multimeter where you can test your voltage, talk about micro SD storage, upgrading, battery condition. So this is us troubleshooting the phone, showing you how to check when you have a problem with the phone. So you're going to basically be the technician. You know, when you go into the phone store, when you have a problem, you're going to be the technician because this is how they started. Okay.
Exactly. And for those of you all who are entrepreneurial, whether you're an adult or you have children, I believe that, and you can just, you know, you can clarify this, but I believe, because I've looked at your curriculum, I
Hmm.
believe that anybody who passes this and takes it seriously would be able to start a phone repair business. What do you think about that, Amobi? That
Oh
by the
man,
end of this, they'd
yeah,
be able to do a phone repair business, right?
right. And especially now in this age where you can, you know, everything is online as far as if you need information, and then you can always get in touch. You know, especially if you're starting a business. I have no problem helping with that. Getting
Right.
things going. Okay. Now in week four is where we're going to do. We're going to change this OS system, but we're going to a different OS system, but
So for those who don't know, OS just means operating system.
yeah, operating system. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're going to use Lineage OS, but it's open source. So I'm going to play with the code to make sure it adheres to how we want to be off the grid. But it comes out of the box off the grid. Okay. Also, um, I'm going to add the Anubis app, which is the AI, and that's going to be our AI. Okay. And the, it's also we're going to have some other
Okay, so you're gonna add, so in this course, you're gonna show how to add an AI agent on the phone so that people will be able to have that, and it will be separate than Grok or Chat GPT
right,
or
right,
anything.
right.
So you
Yeah,
actually would have that on the phone. That's, yeah,
right.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's going to be a package that you download, and then I'll show you guys. It should load by itself, and then I'll show you guys how to interact with that. There's two different flavors of the AI. You'll get the general AI, and if you really want to get into engineering with the church, we'll have an engineering AI that I use to design all of my stuff that I'm training right now. Okay, um, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Um, as far as the course, but like I said, and Heru, this course you'll get a certificate at the end. I am very sure if you really pay attention to the course and you practice, you have the unit there. You can continue to practice taking it apart, do more in depth research for yourself. You can really get to run a business. You can at the worst case scenario is removing screens for 50, 30, whatever you want to charge. Those kind of things, you know. I have a lot of people. You can do a mobile screen repair business. All of that stuff you can do. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, people are charging $50 just to replace your screen.
Right.
And, you know, you and your children can, uh, the listeners, you and your children can start a business in repairing phones and just make money. And whatever the fee is for the course, you should be able to make that money back within a few months, or even within a month, depending on how entrepreneurial you are. But just to have this knowledge and information is important. I want to talk about, oh, there's a comment. You want to read the comment? It's on the screen by Stan.
Hold on one I have my AI building a virtual network in the back. I mean, a virtual word in the background. So it's kind of.
Yeah.
He said,
That.
Dan says, take my money, thanks.
Stan sees what's up. It's very clear what's being offered. And just for people to know, like, people go to years of engineering school and don't even learn how to take apart a smartphone. And they'll pay what, 30, $40,000 a year for college and get an engineering degree and don't even learn what a Moby is about to teach in a month. So, like, the value of this course is also including the AI aspect, is probably a $20,000 course coming along with a certificate of somebody who knows what they're doing. This is very big because it allows us to be in a position to actually innovate. So after this course, you'll understand how a smartphone works, but then we're going to move to level 2, which is innovation, which Amobi is dealing with as well. But you have to take the first course before we can do innovation. So we deal with reverse engineering first. And then once you've got a handle of the reverse engineering where you can put it back together, then we talk about improving it. But you can't improve something if you don't know how it works. So this is the methodology that we're using. And I think the value of this course is probably about 20 grand, but that's not how much is going to be charged for the course. Let's just talk about the fees for the course. Um, my brother. And what we've decided to do is that the fee for the course, which includes the packet, the materials packet with the tools and everything, and the phone, so it's all included. So it's an all-inclusive fee, and Mobi has decided to do per household. So therefore, if you have 5 family members, it's not like you're going to be paying 5 different, donations. It'll just be per household. And so if you got 5 family members, you tune in basically per IP address. And that's what we decided on to make it accessible so that the whole family can join in on this, because everyone in your household who has a smartphone should be taking this course. Everybody who has a smartphone should be taking this course so that you have a different relationship with your technology. So let's just talk about the fees, which are going to be tax deductible, brother Moby, and then the timeline, when this is going to start, when it's going to end, and all of that.
Well, depending on the amount of people that sign up for the class, I'm asking for at least 10 in the class.
10
Um,
people
we had
or
10,
10 families.
we had 10 families, 10 households, but we can accommodate up to 40.
Hmm.
Um, Now, depending on the amount of people come in, that will depend on the price. I think the minimum price, I mean, the maximum price would be is about $700, but then it drops down to like $500 or something like that. I don't have.
Okay, could you stop there? This is what I need people to understand. You're going to be taking a 4-week course to learn all the ins and outs of a smartphone, and this is $700 for your whole family, right? Your husband, your wife, your children, you know what I mean? Like, this is a hell of a deal. And what we're doing for this first, because it's our first course, there's not going to be anything that's going to be donations where the church makes money off of this, because what we're looking to do is that with these courses and these classes, we're looking for the church to also have money to start building factories. But in this, the church is waiving its fees. In all of this, the fees are going directly to the priest engineer here. And that's why we're keeping it at a low price for y'all. Future courses are going to be more expensive in terms of donations, but most of you all get your money back through tax deductions. So, because it's a church. So, you're winning either way. But the point of the matter is that if we get more than 10 families to sign up, which I think we should be able to, because I've gotten about 100 emails of people being interested, I think we should be able to hit that 10 as soon as possible. And then what's going to happen is that the price even goes down from 700 to 500. And that includes the phone, the toolkit, and the instruction, live instruction. And I don't think you can get, and this is for 4 weeks. So literally you'd be paying $100 a week for 4 weeks. It's one of the best investments that you make for you and your family. So I really think that this is something that people need to take very seriously. I'll be promoting it. We're going to be starting on September 15th. That's going to be our first church services in the form of this course. And it's going to be every week. And do you know the day of the week that you're going to choose, Brother Moby?
I'm I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Mondays and Thursdays, something like that.
Okay, we'll flesh that out as the time comes, and hopefully by next week we can pin that down, or at least give
We'll have
people
that.
a month lead time to know what the time frame is.
Yeah.
But I want people to know that all you gotta do is email us at info@pataset.church. Say that you're interested in the course and that you're ready to make your donation for the course. It's gonna come out to $130 a week, pretty much. And what's going to happen is that, or $150 a week, something like that, depending on how many people sign up. But it's tax deductible. And what's going to happen today is that I was to have the donation button up. The donation button up should be up in the next 12 hours. The reason is because I had to have um, some paperwork together for the bank account for the church to get the donation button up. But it should be up, and we can start taking the donations. And your name would be registered, and you would be the person registering for the course through your family. And then we'll be conducting this through Zoom, private Zoom sessions, where Moby's going to be able to show all of the tools, the phone, and go through everything week by week. So this is very exciting. This is something that we should have been doing decades ago. But like they said, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time to plant a tree is today. So we're doing what we're doing, and Brother Moby is making himself available to basically download his brain into yours and your family's brain. This is going to be the best money that you've spent. Your children are going to school. What are they really learning that's preparing them for this world that's ahead of them? Not much. So we're going to take it upon ourselves to solve this problem. Brother Moby, please take over with any other comments that you want to say for the people who would be
Well,
signing up for this.
I want to say I get downloads from the higher self, the higher ups. So I think I'm here to share all of this with everyone. So when I met Heru, it really they put me in his path. So I think, and he was just coming up, working, talking about the church. So it's everything goes hand in hand, and I don't think things like this happen. They always happen for a reason. So I've always had a plan to go back to the motherland. I'm building all of these things because I want to bring that home, and I think this is a good start. So this is one of the things that and teaching. I like teaching. As you teach, you learn too. You know, teaching is the best way to learn. That's how I think of things. So I'm just hoping that everyone pay attention and take it seriously, because in the future, even if you don't start a business in the future, you may need these skills. Especially with what's going on with robotics and AI and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and what we're doing is that we're starting with the smartphone, but we're going to be reverse engineering much more serious things as time goes on, y'all. We're going to be we're going to be reverse engineering robots. We're going to be reverse engineering automobiles. We're going to be reverse engineering battery packs. We're going to be reverse engineering solar panels. We're going to be reverse engineering eventually airplanes. We're going to be reverse engineering drones. So this is very important. What we're looking to do, very little on theoretical talking and going back and forth and arguments and debates, and heavy on science, math, technology, and engineering. This is what we're doing, which is probably very unique to other platforms because we're really focused on what really moves the needle and what we've been missing as a people for many years. And I always say this is a quote that I have in my head: woe unto he who allows his enemies to have greater technology than him. That's the bottom line. Okay. We're going to be doing a lot of reverse engineering because this is how nations have taken themselves out of being subservient to being dominant nations. From Japan after they were bombed, to China after they lost the Opium Wars, They got involved in reverse engineering, innovation, invention, and domination of the technological space. And this is what we're going to do. Okay. Brother Genesis says you can do a lot with a Raspberry Pi.
That's right.
Yeah, you
That's right.
know, yeah, you can. Absolutely. And the brother says agriculture machine. Absolutely. We're going to have agriculture machines as well that we're going to reverse engineer and innovate. And just for everyone to know is check this out, man. We are taking it upon ourselves to be the people who we're supposed to be. And it starts with reverse engineering. And please understand that we're changing the whole concept of the church because we believe that our spirituality is attached to getting closer to the mind of the creator. And the mind of the creator is a mind of science, math, engineering, and technology. Because without science and mathematics, the universe would not operate, right? You can track the movement of the earth, the movement of the stars, the movement of the planets based on mathematical formulas, which means that math governs the universe and the mind of the creator is highly mathematical and scientific. And so, therefore, to get as close as possible to the mind of the creator, which we are calling the deity the deity Ptah, and within the ancient Egyptian understanding, where we had the highest techno complex civilization, the creator deity, the engineer of the universe was named Ptah. And so that's why it's called Ptah Aset. And so what we're doing is we're saying to ourselves, we're not going to leave it to anyone to tell us what or who God is. We're going to do our own inquisition of what God is through the avenues of scientific and mathematical mastery. This is what we're doing. And it becomes a spiritual endeavor. And that's why we're calling it a church. And so what we're doing is we're going to make ourselves a competitive people. And our churches are our factories, and our factories are our churches. Our engineering schools are our temples, and our temples are our engineering schools. And that's what we're doing. And we're just changing the whole paradigm. And we're starting with this first course. So, those of you who sign up, you're going to be part of a historical moment where Black folks are now understanding that the mastery of technology is what caused us to fail. The lack of the mastery, because the Europeans and the Asians and the Arabs, they just had greater technology than us, and that's why they were able to divide Africa without our consent. The Berlin Conference only happens, slavery only happens, even what happened in the Western Hemisphere with us only happens because our slave masters had greater technology than us. That's just the bottom line. And so until we address the technology issue, we'll always have people's foot on our neck. And until we address the unity issue, we'll always be divided and splintered and laughed at. So we're dealing with unity and technology, and that's what we have Patah set. And so what you all want to do is go to patahset.church and read more about what we're talking about. I just want to share this with you all because we are making this work. And Brother Moby's here to make this work. So understand that we're not spending time debating with anyone about anything. We're going straight to business with this. And so here are the levels of spirituality that we've developed with the understanding of the mind of the creator. So number one, we're dealing with spiritual level number one, which is with reverse engineering. That's why we're all starting at reverse engineering. Spiritual level number two is innovation and improvement of technology, science, and math. And then we're going to mass manufacturing, because once you have innovated and improved something, you're ready to mass manufacture it, which is a whole science unto itself. And then level four is invention. So now that you have reverse engineered, you've innovated, you've mass manufactured, you're now ready to be an inventor because you have a deep understanding of the principles of this technology. You cannot invent if you do not know how to reverse engineer and innovate. You cannot invent properly if you do not know how to manufacture. Why is that? Because your invention should have the least amount of parts possible to make manufacturing as easy as possible. This is why you need to do manufacturing before you do invention, because you can invent something, but it could be very difficult to mass manufacture. So you need to be able to invent knowing about mass manufacturing so that you will invent a phone that requires the least amount of pieces to be able to do mass manufacturing. And then spiritual level number five is unity as a precondition. So we unify as Black people, irrespective of geographical borders that we never even drew up ourselves, that were drawn up by our colonizers, our torturers, and our tormentors. Made us Nigerian, made us Ghanaian, made us Jamaican, made us because that's what they decided to do. And we're not going by that. We are saying that we're unifying without borders. And then spiritual level six is becoming a teacher and becoming a priest engineer. And that's what we're doing. So everybody has an opportunity, as long as you've gone through all the spiritual levels as an initiate, everyone has an opportunity to reach spiritual level six, where you can now become a priest engineer. And that's exactly what we're doing. And then it repeats itself over and over again. And we end up creating um, a whole new economic presence in the world, because we're the creators, we're the manufacturers, and we're creating every single thing that our people need without our people needing to be dependent on other people who have nothing but contempt for us historically. So that's the solution that we've developed at Patah Set, and we're starting with the historic phone, smartphone reversal engineering reverse engineering with Brother Amobi. So, Brother Moby, please take over with any more comments or anything you'd like to share.
Well, I just wanted to go through the portfolio real quick and play them a video, and then I'll be done. It's,
Absolutely. Let me stop sharing my screen. Yep, go ahead, bro.
okay.
And please realize that because this is an online church that we're doing, this is available to all of us worldwide. Okay? Worldwide, you can be part of this. I don't care where you live. If you're Black and you're interested in no longer being subservient to other people and having your children become competitive and creating a new conversation, a new narrative for us, you're welcome at pataset.church. Okay? All right.
So here, like I was saying, I designed this robot here. This basically, I took off the parts, off the shelf parts. I actually designed something a lot more intricate than this, but for my first design for a humanoid robot, this is what I chose. As you can see, if you have a if you're you need a prosthetic, you can take the joint out and stick your where the injured part in here. I'm sharing my screen, right? You can see
Yes,
it. Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
As you can see here, I actually put this up for Kickstarter. They told me I'm going to print the arm probably in the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to be coming out with this. Here I did a drone. I call it the Reaper. Everything I'm showing you is fully designed. I can take them to a printer and get it printed and put the parts in. So this is not concept stuff. For the last 2 years, I've been designing these things. I'm not going to show you this. This here is a drone that can lift up to 1,000 pounds. Um, I've ran the numbers, as you can see. What I wanted to do with this is when we're building, we can carry stuff around, carry it on the roof. So this is for building. If you have a skyscraper and you need to move stuff, this is what this is for. So I call it the sky crane. And here it's a utility vehicle. Let me put it that way. But here I have a trike, and this is a sports bike slash sports car. Do about 150 miles an hour. It runs on battery and a what I call a cat gen that I use to charge the battery. So it's a hybrid, and it could basically run forever. Um, Here's the next one I created. This is for more of a family. These run from $20,000 to $30,000. These are not. I try to keep it as low as possible for us. It's a sports variant. Here, this is ready to go. This is a what's called a solar cassette. You know, when you have problems when you're dealing with solar, they usually take like 5 years, and then they're no good. You put this cassette around the solar panel, and it'll at least give you 10 years and about 35% of sunlight that hits. So usually regular solar panel give you 25 to 28%. If you buy this and put it around your solar panel, it's going to give you 35%. And if anybody has solar panels, they know if leaves or anything get blocking one cell, you usually lose the whole panel for that little period of time. It also keeps your panel cool and clean because that's one of the biggest problems with solar panels. They
So
get
what do you do? You put this around at the edge of each solar panel?
you put it's like a sandwich. It's like a cassette. So you put the solar panel inside, and then there's I put a special uh, uh, glass.
Oh, the panel goes inside of this.
Yeah, yes,
Okay. So this is pre-installation.
right. So when
Okay.
you buy your solar panel, you might get like 25 to 28% brand new.
Okay. Okay.
And get the sunlight. This will,
Oh, it probably magnifies the
yeah,
rays.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Magnifies it, and then it feeds into the solar panel, which
right.
creates greater electricity.
And then it keeps it cool.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that's brilliant.
yeah.
My
So
house is run on solar. I wish I had this before I did the installation.
yep.
Okay.
And then it keeps it clean too.
Yeah.
Okay, so also I have a solar flower. This is for you know this is mobile, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a stationary one too. I'm designing, but this is a kind of if you need solar power, it'll drive out. Or it'll spin around, follow the sun, track the sun. So you have uh, if you have something where you got trees in the area, this will go and find a spot where you can use it. You could get the full blast of the sunlight. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's mobile, and I'm gonna do a stationary one. I'm doing a stationary one for the Virgin Islands. So this is my solid state battery, fully designed. I kept away from lithium. I know what I was doing is looking at everything with geopolitics and design my technology. So when we go to Africa and we start manufacturing these things, we don't have to rely on anyone.
Right, because
Okay?
all the raw materials are there.
Right. And also, I'm very, I grew up in the rainforest. So I'm very astute to uh, nature. Everything I do does not damage nature at all. I plan around that, even manufacturing my batteries and robotics.
Mm-hmm.
And human beings are part of nature, so I consider us part of nature too. So that's what I
Sure.
want to protect. Now that battery pack goes in here. So this is like a home. This is a home unit, like a wall unit, the Tesla wall unit. But
Mm-hmm.
combine it with the solar and you combine it with this. This is my cat catalytic generator that I was telling you guys about earlier. This here runs on all kind of fuel, biofuel, any type of fuel, ethanol, anything. Okay, it's quiet, more quiet. I try to get it right around a Honda, um, but much more efficient. Um, if you combine this with the solar panel and the batteries, you can be completely off grid.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. And we are getting all types of emails of interest in this. So what you're doing is sparking a lot of people's interest right now, my brother.
Mhm. I've also designed a 3D printer. Okay. I want our people, and I'm getting goosebumps right now. I want our people to be self sufficient. I want us to
Absolutely.
be able to get off of get out of certain societies and just start working. You get a printer in your house, you can print anything.
Hmm.
You understand?
Well, you see the direction we're going. We're going to do the 3D printing class after this, and
Right.
then we're going to start 3D printing parts for the smartphone. Smartphone. So it all makes sense, y'all.
Mhm. Um, all of these are fully engineered, ready to go to manufacturing. Okay, I've
Hmm.
designed all of these from scratch. This is a small tabletop. This one here, this is the bigger one, but this one has what's called a triple extruder. So you're going to be able to print with several different types of material. Okay, this is a full manufacturing unit. Okay, um, what I'm doing too, I'm doing going to do recycling, and I want to provide the pellets, and it's going to be recycled plastic from ocean plastic.
Hmm.
And I've created something that I can take all plastic. Some plastic right now there's only some type of plastic that can be recycled. So it's all about ingenuity, but saving the environment at the same time. Excuse me, I got the AI building a virtual world, and it keeps on popping up. But anyway, um, this one is the industrial scale. Okay,
Yeah, I see that.
and this is for big time manufacturing. Okay, um, so the same extruder, so you can combine different materials to make extra hard materials,
Hmm.
and also you can make a lot of different things because you have three different types of, you can do resin, plastic and everything at the same time, and then you can make things that are structurally sound. Okay.
Hmm.
uh, and now I'm going to play the video on Hue 1, and then I'll be done for
All right. So this is the robot you designed.
it. Yeah.
Just let you know, we're not able to hear the sound if we were supposed to hear sound, but we're able to see everything though.
Well, they can go to the website. I mean, they are YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel.
That's all I have.
Okay, the YouTube channel is Vortech.
It's it's Vortech, VORTECH
Mm-hmm.
space tech, and you
Okay.
should come up.
Okay. Vortech Tech.
Mhm.
All right. Excellent.
And I like I said, I just be in the lab. As you can see, it's I just concentrate on engineering. So I really am looking forward to doing this class, um, and maybe meeting some individuals like myself, especially young. You know, people who want to aspire to do these types of things. Uh, that's what I'd like to do. Bring somebody on as my mentee. I've done it. I worked at the city of Atlanta as a cybersecurity engineer, and I was always the mentor for the Georgia Tech students when they came over. So that's something I'm always doing. Um, but so I just wanted everyone to see a glimpse of what's coming, and everything I want to bring back home. I want to bring to the continent. So um, if I can launch these things from the continent, I will. So this goes hand in hand with the church, and so. I hope everyone gets excited and ready to take the class.
Yep. So let you all know the class, including all of the tools and the packet and all that, it will be between $500 and $700, and this will be tax deductible donation because it's going through the church, and it's a 4-week course, and each family has a slot, right? So it's not like you have to pay for different members of your family for each course. You know what I'm saying? So like one course, the course would be per family block. So one fee will cover your whole family, your whole household. So if you got 5 family members, husband, wife, 3 children, you pay one fee, and you all learn how to, everyone got a smartphone in their hand, in their pocket, but do you really know your smartphone? Do you really know how to operate it? Do you really know how to take it apart and understand the anatomy of the phone and what all the pieces are about and how they're made and what they do and how you can improve upon it? This is where we have to move. It's no longer acceptable to buy things and not understand the mind behind how these things are made. We won't be a competitive people. Like that's the bottom line. And I'm about us being a competitive people so we can be a force on this planet. And you cannot be if you allow other people to be more technologically superior than you. Bottom line. That's just the bottom line. There's no way around it. There's no shortcuts. You're not going to march your way out of this. You're not going to sing your way out of this. You're not going to rap your way out of this. You're not going to poem your way out of this. You're not going to debate your way out of this. You're not going to legislate your way out of this. You're not going to vote your way out of this. You're only going to be able to unite and have technological superiority out of this situation that we're in. That's it. You're not going to pray your way out of this. You're not going to write a book out of this. Like you're not going to. There's no way. You're not going to beg your way out of this. You're not going to, be employed your way out of this. You're not. No. You're not going to friendship your way out of this. You're not. We're going to be technologically formidable, and we're going to be unified. That's it. This is what we're dealing with. And so that's just the bottom line. So the comment here is excellent presentation, very much needed tech and support. Gratitude and much love. Panel plus chat 100. Big up, Julian. You see the vision, you see what's important. And there's some other comments here, man. You know, Sadhu Barry says, he just says, it is necessary for people to see that there are those of us who are moving and shaking. Sadhu Berry says, wow. you know, so our brother Moby is a walking jewel, and we're going to get everyone right. Everyone, someone said, Sadhu Berry says, me too, right now I'm shaking, you know? So, clean water machine technology. Yeah, we have that. If you tuned in a couple weeks ago with Ken, Ken showed you how you can make clean water out of the air. He has a machine that he's already developed, and I'm sure that him and Amobi can sit down and even scale that. So um, this is what we're doing, y'all. Uh, this is the bottom line. This is where the adults come in the room. Okay, we're having adult conversations and we're doing adult things, and we're moving forward. Okay, so that's what it is. She says, how do we pay? What you're going to do, Marion, is where do we pay? Go to pataset.church, and what you're going to see is you're going to see a donation button come up in the next 24 hours. What we do is just send us an email. We have all your email, and then everyone will get a newsletter, and that newsletter will have the donation button on it. The donation will have the suggested donation for the 4-week course where you get a certificate in reverse engineering smartphones. Okay, so just email us for now and just say that you are interested in the course, and we will send you the link in the next 24 hours. I'll have that available for you all, and we'll take it from there. And the course starts uh, September 15th, y'all. Okay, that's when we're starting. September 15th. So we're giving people more than a month to get ready for this. So even if you want to make your donations once a week to reach the 15th to hit the $500 to $700 mark, you can do that. So this is not about the money, but this is about compensating for time and genius. Our geniuses have to be compensated. The state of a people is reflected in the economic state of their geniuses, particularly their technological geniuses. And so if your technological geniuses are working for other people, then that's why your community and your people are not being developed, because all of their genius is being used to build up other people's societies. We're trying to change that. We're not just trying, but we're changing that narrative right now, where we are making sure that all of the priest engineers who come through Pataset are compensated very well for what they do and what they know, and so that they don't have to go to the feet of people who dislike them and build up their empire. We're not doing that, okay? So you're gonna go to those who want to know the link. Very simple, y'all. This is where you're gonna go. And once you get the newsletter to pay and register for the course, uh, we start on the 15th. But what you're going to do now, so we get feelers for who's interested, is to go to the website right here. You can see it, pataset.church. That's the homepage. And you simply, within the next 24 hours, you can go to donate. There'll be a donate button. But you want to go to contact for today and go to info@pataset.church. Say you want to join the church, and just you join the church by registering for the courses. That's how you join the church, because we're active. This is not like a passive where people come and you come hear the preacher say something exciting for the week, and then no, this is not what we're doing. Every sermon is an engineering course or a science and math course. That's our sermons, okay? And this is how we're going to keep doing it. And we're going to make sure that everyone is compensated. And if you are an engineer and you have certain skill sets and you want to become a priest engineer instructor with the church, just contact me as well, because there's all types of things that people can learn. Okay. So are these classes live or recorded or both? And is the course self-paced?
Well, the
Brother Moby.
course is not going to be self-paced. It's going to be in the evening time. Um, but we are also going to provide recordings later on once we finish the course, and we'll plan that out. I'm thinking of having my channel where I have the robotics displayed, having that kind of the central place if you want to get access to the recordings. But me and Heru will chop that up and how we're going to coordinate that. Okay.
Yeah. For now, it's going to be live. So that, because for the first course, we want to make sure that there's huge levels of interactivity between the initiates and the priest engineer, so that you can ask them all the types of questions. Because I know a lot of people are starting from zero. Like, no, a lot of people have never taken apart a phone before. They don't even understand what a motherboard is. And so we're going to be starting from scratch, and it'll be able to be explained to a 10-year-old, right? Because my son is signing up for this course, right? And he's going to be taking this, and he's 10 years old. And he's going to learn how to take apart a smartphone. So he's going to have the packet and everything as well. Learn all the different parts of the anatomy of a phone, how to take it apart, how to put it back together, how to add different operating system that so that these people can't spy on us and all types of things. So this is going to be very exciting for everybody, okay? And this is where you contact. Just go to pataset.church, not .com, pataset.church, and then just contact us. Say that you are interested in the course. Understand that the course will be anywhere between $500 to $700. It will include your packet with the phone and all of the equipment, the tools to take it apart, and all of that. So it's
And
all
part,
inclusive price, and the parts. So it'll be all inclusive. A Mobi will be put together the package once you pay for the course, which is tax deductible donation. You have your address, and the Mobi will ship the packet to you before the 15th of September. And we're going to get busy that way. And really, all we need to start is 10 people. And from the looks of everything, we got about 50 people who are ready to pay from the emails that I'm getting. So this is what we got, y'all, and this is going to be value for whatever you invest into yourselves and into your family. Like I said, by the end of this, you could start a smartphone repair business locally and make a lot of money. So what more do you all want from us? You know what I'm saying? What more do you all want from us? You know what I'm saying? That's in my Tyrese voice. What more do you want from me? So that's it. Brother Moby,
Yeah,
you can sign up.
yeah. I just want to let everyone know. In the past, look back in history and see when great civilizations, the indigenous civilizations, when they failed because of technology. And we are on the brink of having the ultimate technologies coming out now, robotics and AI.
Hmm.
We, as a people, right now when it's confusing, I'm downloading all AI open source stuff because soon they're going to shut it off. Once they figure it out, then you're going to see the true mark of the beast. I just have to say that. So that's what I've been planning for. We
Hmm.
need to have our stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And what we may do, what I'm going to do with Moby, we'll talk. Maybe we do this on the weekends because
Mhm.
more people are free on the weekends and people can
Okay.
be with their children. So maybe we do the course on the weekend. We maybe pick a Saturday or a Sunday to do it,
Sure.
to
However,
get it through. Yeah. Just so more people can be able to attend because this is going to be hands on. It's not going to be a recorded instruction. And starting out, I don't want to do recorded instruction. I want people to be hands on with you, be able to ask you questions, and then we can track people's progress too. If it's just recorded, we're not going to be able to know. But as this develops and the course develops, we will probably have a quiz that people take
mhm,
every course to make sure that you actually did watch the recorded program. But we'll develop that as time goes on. Okay.
mhm.
All right. But yeah, go ahead, Amobi. Let's close out.
Yeah. Just I've been getting downloads. I don't know if people understand that, but I've been getting downloads for the last 3 years. Ever since I started working with AI, like something has been telling me this is what I need to do. I need to design. I need to get us the opposite of what's going on the other side. So I've been hard at it for the last 2 3 years, and I am so excited to share those downloads with you. And that's all I have to say.
Absolutely. And people are asking, what's the website? It is pataaset.church. I'm going to go to the website again. I'm going to make it very clear for everyone so you can see it. And that's where you go and just go to the contact page and just contact us there. Say you're interested in the course, and we will send you the newsletter with the course information and the donate button on there. We'll also have it on the website so you can register for the course, okay? Does everyone see right here? The website is pataaset.church. Let me see if I can make the screen bigger for you all. It's pataaset.church. Oh no, it doesn't make this bigger. But it's pataaset, PTAHAUSET dot church. Okay? And let me see if I can put it, I'm going to put it on the screen for you all. And then you just go to the contact page. So what I'm going to do is, let me see, I'm going to, this is what I'm going to do. Why don't I do this? So then I can then share the comment. So it's pataaset.church. Not .com, y'all, .church. Okay, so let me see if I can share my own comment here. Church. I just posted it, okay? And I'm going to then share that link. Everyone can see it now. Do you see it? Church. That's for you all who are asking. That's the link there. And just go to the contact page and just say that you would like to be a member of the church and its programs and you're interested in the training for yourself and your family. And again, one fee will cover your whole household, okay, for the course. And that's it, pataaset.church. That's it right there, y'all. That's where you're going to go. And I think that this was a very informative show. Once again, we've done it and brought value to people. On this Wednesday, we went over the Forex charts and we went over the MyStocks.Africa trades. We had a nice call by Sister Portia talking about investment, and we'll go next week and we'll talk about some of these options as well. We've been on for 2 hours, so I don't want to stay on too much longer over 2 hours. But tune in on Monday. I believe next Monday we should have a new prostate cancer reversal testimonial by his brother Ron Noel, and he's going to talk about his whole journey of working with the herbal results protocol. He did not do any of the other treatments. He used a natural method, non-toxic, and now he's cancer-free. PSA went from 46 to zero point 0.1, below zero point 0.1 within several months. And he's going to talk about his journey and his conversations with his doctors and what have you. It's going to be very, very informative. So if you can tune in next week, Monday, same bat channel, same bat time. We probably will not be on YouTube because YouTube likes to censor what we do when it comes to health. And then next Wednesday, we'll go over the stocks and how these Forex trades are doing as well. So I hope that this was a very helpful show for you all. Big up our priest engineer, Brother Moby. Big up to all the people interested in Patah Set and becoming engineers and teaching your children to become engineers, because engineers make the world go round. They're responsible for your roads. They're responsible for your computers, your phones, your TV you like to watch, your cameras you like to use, your airplanes, your cars, your house, your running water. This is engineers. Engineers developed all of this. And so our engineers have to be exalted, and our children, this is how you know that we're advancing as a people, when our children are more interested in becoming engineers than entertainers. Okay? I'm not saying that, there's nothing wrong with, being an entertainer per se, particularly if you're doing conscious music or something to uplift our people, but it's kind of oversaturated. And you can be an entertainer and an engineer at the same time. Being an engineer should be a requirement for all of our households. That's just the bottom line. And so, based on what we need and where we are as a people, that's what it is. We all have to be comfortable with engineering. Everything around us that we look at and that we use is because of engineers. And it's actually a crime that we don't understand how the things around us in our household are made. And we just buy these things and don't even give a thought as to how it's made, how it's designed, how does it function. That intellectual curiosity has become outside of the cultural framework, particularly in industrial societies. And we're bringing all of that back so that we can be a formidable people like we were when we built the pyramids, understanding geometry, astronomy, chemistry, algebra, construction, masonry, engineering. This was very high level understanding. And if we're going to be formidable and be the leaders of the world where we need to be as our community, and to be competitive and to be able to hire ourselves and create our own economies, this is the road that we have to follow. There is no other way. I've dealt with this for so long. There's no other way, y'all. So, just understand that if you want to be liberated as a people, you want to be self-determined, you got to have greater technology than your enemies. You got to be unified. There's no other way. There's no shortcuts. There's nothing falling from the sky. There's no one going to come save us. It is up to us to be formidable. And nations and people become formidable when they start taking math, science, technology, and unity seriously. That's it. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back on Monday with more illness reversals. And we'll be back next Wednesday looking at these charts again and these investments. Peace, everybody, and big up to Amobi for tuning in and coming in and showing people what they can expect on September 15th. And this is the website right there, patahset.church. And let's make it happen, y'all. Y'all have a great day, have a great weekend, and have a great week. Peace. All right.